Yesterday's elections presaged what will absolutely be disaster for the Trump MAGA GOP in 2024. If the Republican Party cannot win across the board, cannot win with all of the disaster that has happened to our country, it is curtains for them. You understand what I'm saying? Now, there may have been some cheating. I don't know. I don't get the feeling there was cheating, of course, because we think, well, it's got to be cheating because there's no way Republicans can lose. Oh yes, they can. Oh yes, they can. Oh, big time they can. And there were some problems, I think, in Philly. There was some, they had to shut things down, and yeah. And you get the first black mayor in 100 year, 100 out of no, the 100th mayor, excuse me. Hey, that's good news. But Philadelphia, that is the cloaca. I mean, Kensington is the cecum, the cloaca, I don't know what rectal part you want to refer to. It is horrid. And they go Democrat again? The same folks who brought you Fetterman? The same, I mean, do you see what's going on? And Youngkin and these Republicans who keep wanting to pull this fantasy where they want to ban abortion? Oh, it's done. It's done. And the best part is all the the Republicans sit in their little room and they say, this is terrible. We're going to win. MAGA. Yeah, MAGA. Stop this. I don't know what kind of a miracle you might want or what's going on. And then they're going after Rashida Tlaib. I told you about her. Let her go. Ignore her. Ignore Rashida Tlaib. What are you doing? Why are you making her out to be this victim, this martyr? Why are you making Israel, Palestine? Why are you even making it an issue? This is not our fight. Russia, Ukraine, not our fight. Why are you taking sides and getting involved in something where the world is split? Speak to it, deal with it. But why are you making it even worse? This is so bad right now. And if you can't see this, if you don't recognize this, if you don't feel it, if you're not thinking, oh my God, then you're not paying attention. And when it comes to Republicans in particular, they don't pay attention. They live in this la-la land. They live in this world of make-believe, kind of like Angie Baby. My God, with all that's going on, it should have been a drubbing, an absolute drubbing, but it wasn't. Why? Why do you think that is? Why? Because when it comes to elections and when it comes to the message and when it comes to getting voting done, the Republicans suck. They are the worst, but they love CPAC and they love their rallies and they love their hubris and their obstinacy. That's what they love. We're going to be talking about this, dear friends. We're going to be talking about this, but get ready and do me a favor. If you want La La Land, if you want, we're so happy. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. This isn't for you. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an American and I want to win. And so far, it looks bad for our side, okay? So please like the videos, subscribe to this channel if you want to hear the truth, and listen to this important word from our sponsor. Dark clouds are gathering as markets shudder. Stocks are sinking, currency stumbling, fear and uncertainty reign. The Middle East, Ukraine, Taiwan, the debt, it's endless. Yet one asset stands firm: gold. In crisis after crisis, gold is there in the background. Its enduring value guards against loss, like a missile shield against incoming. While paper wealth burns, gold persists. Shield your savings against looming threats: war, recession, contagion, and avoid the frenzied panic of the unprepared. Take control in the chaos. Fortune favors decisive action. Get hold of gold now before it's out of reach. And right now, Noble Gold Investments offers a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin with every new IRA. Claim your free coin today to secure your financial future. As this new storm gathers, panic looms. And some of the places you were thinking of for your money, well, they don't look so clever anymore. Secure your future against disaster now. Open a Noble Gold Investments IRA and claim your free bullion coin today. Go to LionelNationGold.com. That's LionelNationGold.com. LionelNationGold.com, the only gold company I trust. And remember, there's always a risk of investment and there's no guarantee of any kind. La La Land is just buzzing today with folks from all over the place. All the Republicans just yammering nonsense. Nonsense. What if you didn't win yesterday? I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be. I don't know what to say. I just don't. I don't know what to say. Republicans, do they vote? What happens? What happens? Is it because of Trump? Is it because of... How many of you great people think Trump is going to win in 2024? Not wish against Gavin Newsom. If the election were held today, how many people do you think? Now remember, there were 5 states. How many people would be willing to put their life, their finger, their life savings, whatever it is, on the line? How many people think Trump is going to win now? How many think Trump's message? Because a year is like a second. A year is a day. A year is a week. It's now. How many think? How many? You think America wants to, after what we're seeing right now, after the momentum has changed? Do you think he's going to win? What do you think? Do you think America, not you, not us, not all of us, not all of, us. Hey, we're not talking about this. Look at this. I love him, but I think his time has passed. Even if he's allowed to on the ballot, very possible. I love him, but I think his time has passed. Trump will not win. Trump will. Joe, nuh-uh. Yeah. You think Trump is going to, Trump is going to, his message after yesterday, he's going to talk about what? Abortion? Does anybody here understand? That's the kiss of death. Stay away from abortion. Nobody wants to hear this. No. And here's the best one. I don't know how to fill you in on this one. Irrespective of what you believe in terms of, how do I say this? Irrespective of what you believe in terms of Israel, you have to be able to separate the political fallout from the reality. Look, during Vietnam, we believed, many of us believed in supporting the troops, standing behind the cause, trying to stop and squelch and derail and demote and undo communism and the spread of communism. And we all wanted to do that. Remember that? We all did this. But we realized at the point, this is nowhere politically. If you voted for one more penny in Vietnam, you were done. So you understood politically versus the reality. The cause may have been good. The reasoning may be good. The ultimate goal may have been admirable, but it is a political kiss of death. You understand that, right? You got that? You got that? How many believe right now? And this has nothing to do with what you believe about the existence of Israel, which I believe it has the right to exist. And I believe that what it is doing is defending itself, maybe not strategically the best, but it is not deciding to just pick a fight with Gazans because it's some psychopathic entity. It's very complicated. But that being said, and Israel's fight, I don't want to argue about that. I don't want to, it's not my say. But I'm not an anti-Israeli. I'm not an anti-Semite. I'm not an anti-Zionist. My thoughts have nothing to do with it. Politically, would you advise somebody running for office in this country to align himself with Israel and Palestine? Yes or no? Or would you say go pro-Israel, you'll do great? Would you do that? Would you? Really? Someone actually wrote, missed your reason for bad news. Say it short. Oh my God, you wrote that? You wrote that? Somebody wrote this? Missed my reason? Oh dear God. Somebody, please, we need a welfare check on this poor person. You don't have any sharp objects in your home, do you? You don't drive, do you? Do you have any loose medication? Do you have a healthcare proxy? You don't know what I'm saying? This is the problem. This is somebody who says, I want to weigh in politically. I don't know what you're. Trump is going to fail. Yesterday's failure, the Republican message across, you're not sure? Dear God. Somebody wrote this? Well, I've got no problem with that. Oh my God. This is confound. I'm not sure exactly what your point is. We're doomed. And this is enlightened. This person isn't going and watching, I don't know, whatever the hell there is to watch, but you better really think politically. You better really ask yourself, if you want to win nationally, and you're going to align yourself in supporting Israel, when people are this is fracturing everything. It is just, what is the purpose of this? Why would you want, it's like getting involved in a civil war almost. Politically. Why would you want to be involved in anti-abortion? I believe abortion is murder. You're killing a human being. But it's not murder in the classic sense of murder, because it is not the unlawful killing of a human being with malice aforethought. It is a, dare I say, an exception, like self-defense, like whatever. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you read this? You got it? You got it? You got it? This is something people don't understand. Politically, stay away from that. Stay away from the death penalty. Stay away from, dear God, legalizing prostitution. Stay away from drugs. Stay away from them. But politically, what should be the number one issue for Republicans? What? I ask you what? Maybe I can make this clear enough. What should be the number one issue for Republicans? Crime. And crime involves safety, security, peace of mind, right and wrong, law and order, victims' rights, American safety. You can stand in front of any crowd and just show riot footage, crime statistics, police sirens, crime scene tape. It's easy. Chalk marks, body homicide. What are you doing? And what do they want to do? Abortion. This is the Republican Party. Abortion. And what else? What else? Next. This is difficult for people to ask, but let me see if I can explain this to you. Why are they censoring and censoring Rashida Tlaib? She's despicable. She's vile. She's horrid. Horrid. What she has said is, to me, Horrid. Not to everybody, but to me. Why do you want to call attention to her? Why do you want to make her a martyr? You just added, I don't know how many points to her. Why did you do that? So Marjorie Taylor Greene can what? Dust off her Captain Obvious badge and burnish it? Is this, with all that is going on in the world and all that's going on with this miserable Congress, you stop and you vote to censor somebody's speech, which is vile, instead of doing your job? I didn't elect you to pass muster or to make statements about what is and isn't acceptable. This is the level of confusion. This is what we're talking about. Do I make myself clear? We are doomed. Trump is doomed. Let me see if I can make this clear. He's doomed because this was about Trump and MAGA and GOP and everything else. And they are so confused. And then you've got this idiot governor who says, I don't think Trump can win. I'm going to vote for DeSantis. Democrats vote en masse. They vote specifically. They vote in legions. They are so good. They go door to door. They vote. They do it. But you know what Americans do? I mean, Republicans? Nothing. They watch Fox News and Newsmax. They watch Greg Kelly. Or whatever. There's nothing wrong with Greg Kelly, but that's it. I don't understand it. Maybe it's like Republicans have this boyfriend girlfriend kind of thing. I don't know what the word is, but their idea of politics seems to be fan based something. And where has Trump been through this thing? Where has Trump been? Trump has been doing the same nonsense over and over and over. And now they're putting, the big story is they're going to put Ivanka on the stand. Ivanka, they're going to put her on the stand. She doesn't know her ass from a hole in the ground. She doesn't know where she is. She has no clue as to what is going on. Ivanka Trump, you have got to be kidding me. Who in their right mind ever would they? Do you think, look at her. They're doing this just for fun, just to get their digs in, just to give her a hard time because they can't stand her, because she's a nobody. She's a nudnik. We know that. She has been a zero. She has never been, she just wants to be like Kim Kardashian. And they actually are doing this. And we know it's corrupt, and we know it's awful, and we know it's brutal. And yes, we know all that stuff. I don't care about that stupid case. Do you? Does it make any difference to you? My country is falling apart. And let me also tell you something. Here's the best part, and you're going to love this. Oh, you're going to go nuts over this one, and you should go nuts. You know that they probably did this fair and square. Do you hear what I'm saying? They did this fair and square. They didn't steal anything. You're not going to see any Dinesh D'Souza, a good friend of ours. Documentaries, nothing. No Carrie Lake, no Usual Suspects, nothing. They did it fair and square. We had in New York 2% turnout for early voting. 2%. Biggest city in there. They got nothing to worry about. There's no feeling of, I think there was one upset in the Bronx. I think there was some city council. That's about it. That's it. There is no Republican Party. There is no Republican Party. And I have been telling you this, and I've been saying this, and I still think it is possible that once Trump stopped, see what they did was, by virtue of suing him and charging him, they've allowed him to be completely and totally distracted from everything. That's the most important thing. He's distracted from everything. He's not paying attention to anything. He's not paying attention to anything. He's not doing enough of what he should be doing. He's not. We have a year to go, and all we're talking about is this case where he's yelling at this horrible judge who looks weird, and you've got his lawyer who's screaming that he can't, and nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. And can I also tell you something else? All right, ready for this? I'm just reading the numbers. Americans don't care about Israel and Hamas, and that's already, there's no new news. Don't know the geography, don't know the names, don't know what's going on. America doesn't know what's going on there. America doesn't know what's going on. All right? You understand what I'm saying? America does not understand what is happening. My friends, I hope you are paying attention. I hope you are liking this video. I hope you are doing everything in your power to be part and parcel. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. I can't tell you enough. The disaster looms. Unless you think another 4 more years of, by the way, Gavin Newsom will make Biden look like Barry Goldwater. Okay? And that's coming up. And disaster looms. And what happens when something happens, when all of the stores are closed? You remember we've talked about this? Well, if we haven't, listen carefully to our sponsor. All right, fellow patriot, let's talk about My Patriot Supply, the country's largest preparedness company. And it is more than equipped to stock your shelves in times of emergency. You can ditch the canned vegetables in the box, pasta and the banana chips and the jerky. Their best-selling 3-month food kit provides delicious breakfasts, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. Now, these meals offer over 2,000 calories every day with a balance of protein and carbs to keep you fed and ready to go in the event of an emergency. Just add water and heat, then eat. Start or strengthen your food supply with this 3-month food kit from My Patriot Supply. So go to preparewithlionel.com to get ready. Preparewithlionel.com. I'm going to say it again. Preparewithlionel.com. Go now. Nobody likes bad news. I understand it. And I understand that what we're doing right now is one of those things that certainly qualifies as bad news. But let me explain to you what my goal is. It's simply this. It's never to be anybody's friend. It's never been to talk about cheery stuff, but just to give a brutal assessment of what's happening. A brutal and accurate assessment of what's happening. And that's something that, frankly, a lot of people do not like. Believe me, I found this out. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about what the truth is. How you can screw this election up is beyond me. I do not understand this. And I want you to understand. Let me see if you grasp something. Gavin Newsom. And whenever you bring his name up, people say, that's their reaction. And Democrats did this regarding Trump. Oh, you don't like him? Okay, fine. Republicans loved him, or many Republicans loved him. See, that's the way it is. It's this is how deep and how complicated the analysis is. I don't like it because it's all about, it's like trolling or something. I don't know what the word is. But this is a guy who knows exactly what to say. And he represents one of the most dangerous combinations because of his look, his voice, his countenance. He's smart, his ability to articulate the message, and the correction that the Democratic Party has made regarding last time or recovering from last time. He is so dangerous, it's not even funny. The best thing that was going for, and listen to what I'm saying. Remember this interesting rule about politics, and you will find this out, at least American politics. Whenever somebody leaves, the successor you hate even more. Does that make any sense to you? Whenever someone leaves, the successor is worse. Barry Taylor, by the way, Barry, thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Barry. Thank you for the support. Thank you. I just want you to know this. This is hard-earned money, and I appreciate this. And I appreciate you being there, and I appreciate your beneficence, so to speak. What do you think about George Carlin's insight? Politicians are there to give us the illusion of choice. We have none. We have owners. let's talk about that. And Hillbilly says, we are a nation of sheep being led to shear and slaughter. Let's talk about both of those. First, let's go with this. Barry, this is it. George Carlin is not a politician. He's a political philosopher. He's a comedian. And he is somebody who is entertaining, and he has never provided any kind of roadmap to any kind of understanding of what's going on. Imagine a physician saying, well, you got diverticulitis. Well, goes to show you. There's one thing about it is when you eat like this for the longest time, you're bound to have problems in the long run. And that's it. All right. Okay, doctor, how are you going to fix this? Oh, I don't really get into this medicine stuff. Well, thank you very much. I love your comedy, but I need a doctor now. And we need, Barry, a politician, because that's the way we get things done. Okay? That's the way we get things done. And Hillbilly says, we are a nation of sheep being led to shear and to slaughter. I agree with that. More so here than any place else. How many, when Donald Trump was allowed to do his incredibly important stuff, he was brought on board by virtue of politics. George Carlin says that politicians are there to give us the illusion of choice. We have none. This is what Barry says, and it's true. But Donald Trump was great. And Donald Trump came along via politics. So here is my question. If Donald Trump came along via politics, this is the most important thing in the world. I want to use that position. That's what I'm given. That's how we do this. What am I going to do? Give up? Give up? Do you want me to? I can do a lot of things. I can describe things and be comedic. George Carlin went through so many variations of what he was. And a lot of people did, is fine. And, but if you listen to George Carlin, you will accomplish nothing. You won't do anything. You'll just say, oh, well, George Carlin one time famously, I blame you. You keep putting these people on. I don't vote them in. They're not choice. They're horrible people. Okay, that's what they keep saying. You understand what I'm saying? That's their thing. Is that good? Do you think that's good? Does anyone here, especially my friend who says, I got here kind of late. Can you tell me why you think things are bad? Let me try this again. Even to my friend. And I mock you because you deserve it. I kid, of course. Not really. Do you think not voting is the answer? Do you believe that sitting back and just saying, you know what, just let people do whatever they want, I've got no say? Do you think that makes sense? There have been some people who have said, I think it was George Marshall even, McNeil or Lehrer, I get them confused, said, oh, I don't vote because I can't do my job if I vote. Well, I think that's bullshit. Let me ask you something. I think one of the most stupid things that people do, one of the most stupid things is the way we do marriage in this country. Not around the rest of the world, but legally marriage, not only the legal part of it, but the ceremony. I think it's the most barbaric, silliest thing I've ever seen that we do. It is just absolutely the silliest and the most barbaric. Now, do I recommend being married? Yeah. But it's the silliest, crazy, and if something goes wrong, oh, dear God, oh, my God, dear God. But I believe in love. I believe in the benefits of it, and I believe in the notion of a civil union that is beyond civil union. So see what I'm doing? I think marriage is stupid, and I think weddings are just ridiculous. They're barbaric, but I believe in them. I believe in politics. Politics are about lying. You understand what's going on? I need a president of the United States. And we can argue also that, well, does he really do? Is it the deep state? Is it the police state, the intel state, the shadow government? Whatever. You want to argue that? Fine. I need a president. We got to vote. And when I talk about the highfalutin things, that's terrific. You want to be like Dave Chappelle and talk about, well, I mean, that's great. I will talk to you. In the meantime, I will talk to you, but I got to get things done. And you and I can discuss things that matter. But one of the things which, and I wish I didn't have to depend on other people to vote. I wish I could just say, look, I'm doing this on my own. I don't care whether you vote or not. It's up to you. I don't really care. I just don't. But I need your vote, and I need you to be a part of this. I need you to be a critical part of this, because I can't do this with my vote alone. There's this weird thing about democracy. And by the way, we are not democracy. We are a constitutional republic. A democracy is the tyranny by the majority. This is different. So I need you, and I believe in voting, and I need voting. And I'm sorry, but that's the way that is. Sorry, that's just the way. That's just the way that is. Does that make sense to you? Good. Because that's it. I don't know how to put it in any other way, any other term, but that's it. So we can talk about George Carlin. He's interesting. And he's interesting, but it's nice. It's kind of funny. I found him towards the end of his life to be less relevant than ever before. I don't know. I don't know really any of the people who are themselves. I don't know what the word is. I don't know anybody. Well, let me just go a couple of your things. Very, very interesting. Someone says Trump is way too divisive. Need a unity candidate. Anybody think that? Unity candidate. Unity candidate? Is that possible? We need a unity candidate. Okay. Remember when the Beatles say, all we need is love, all you need is love. Love is all you need. Is that all you need is love? That's bullshit. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, we need a unity candidate. There's no such thing as a unity candidate. What does that mean? Well, we're going to bring a way to bring people together. What? Love is all you sneezed. I love that. What are you talking about? Well, he's too divisive. You don't think Joe Biden's divisive? Politics is divisive. It is divisive. You understand? You got it? Why? What do you mean? I don't want... look where we are. What does that mean? Are we here because of Trump? What does this mean? You want a very simple reaction to this. You don't like multiple moving parts. I want to show you a watch. An old mechanical watch. Tell me what is responsible for this? What makes this move? What makes this thing work? Point to it. It's everything. Is it the stem? Is it this? Is it the spring? Is it the... Yeah, but which one? Well, it's everything. Do we need all this? Yes. It's complicated. Yes, we need this. Yes. And someone says, I adore simplicity. Oh, I do too. If it works. If it's effective. If it explains something. Oh, I agree. I love simplicity. If it makes sense. Do you think it makes sense? Well, I don't really know. Well, do you think it makes sense? Well, maybe. It makes sense. Yes. Simplicity, what we are seeing most of the time is people who do not have any idea of how this thing works. I have never seen anybody. People will never, ever. It's funny. Whenever you watch cricket, don't ask me why, but I got really enthralled by not that enthralled, because I don't even know if it's over with yet. But the cricket championships and world championships. And it was fascinating to hear people's response and their analysis. And yet Americans don't weigh in on this, number one, because they don't really care about it. But number two, they really don't know anything about it. But politics is something where people feel like they have this ability to weigh in. Like they can say something because they know something about it. if you even begin to explain it, this is something that involves not only the shape of the country, the zeitgeist, what is going on, what are people feeling, what's going on, what does the rest of the world think, and how do the various candidates work in. I think we all know how Joe Biden won. Okay? I think we all know how Joe Biden won. Okay? You got that? I think we all know how he won. Do people like Joe Biden? No. But and if you want to sit and analyze this, good for you. The next time you're in a McDonald's, get a quarter pounder with cheese and look at it and say, why is this? Why do people like this? This is the most mediocre, this is the most unimaginative hamburger there is. But they sell more of these. And why? You want to argue with this? Go ahead. Why do people enjoy it? I don't know. Why do people enjoy? I don't know. Why do people enjoy? Why are they watching? What is with this? This is the most, my God, what is happening? And this is the thing which nobody really seems to understand. Nobody cares about. This is the part. This is the thing. This is the idea. This is the focal point that I cannot say enough. Okay. I can't put it into perspective enough, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try my very best. Don't weigh in on something unless you know a little bit about it. Don't just weigh in and say, huh. In this channel, they're talking about cricket score. I don't know about cricket. In this one, they're talking about particle physics versus string theory. I don't know anything about that. Politics. Oh, I know that. You do? Oh, yeah. What do you know about politics? Well, I mean, I vote. You don't know anything about it, do you? Well, not really. Americans feel like they know something about it. They really understand. They really, honest to God, feel, they believe. Above all, they believe that they honestly understand what is happening here. And they call it simplistic, but it's not. It is not. Go back if you want a little history, that's fine. But you're asking people to, first of all, divide their positions into Democrat versus Republican. Just understand this right now. Imagine me going to you and saying, I want to ask you, are you rap or are you country? And you say, well, what's the other one? No, that's it. Are you rap or are you country? Are you rap? Yeah, I know what you said. I don't know. Am I rap or am I country? That's it. That's it. That's all you have. That's all you have. Are you Democrat or are you Republican? Now we have these things called, whatever party. We have alt country. We have bluegrass. We have torch and twang, rockabilly, honky tonk, country and western swing, folk. We can kind of veer into this. We have rap, hip hop, gangster rap. You've given me basically 12 distinctions of two things I don't really care about. I don't know. I've got these two, yes. Those are your choices. Rap or country. That's your music. What do you want to listen to? What defines you? Well, neither does. Well, you better pick something because that's all you've got. Well, that doesn't. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So think about this. This is where we start. This is where we start. This is the thing. This is it. This is it. You want to talk about politics? Let's start with that. Do you think Donald Trump, is it because Donald Trump's a Republican or Donald Trump is Donald Trump? I think it's Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump came along and he did some things. Donald Trump is like a revolutionary. Years ago, I know you don't care about this, but years ago, Roy Acuff and country music in the Ryman Auditorium and all those, they said country music is this. They didn't want, Bill Monroe didn't even want Earl Scruggs as fiddle. He didn't think fiddle was a part of bluegrass. And Roy Acuff says, we're not going to have trumpets and we're not going to have drums. And Johnny Cash said, screw you. He did Ring of Fire. He's got drums and mariachi. People break the rules with still maintaining the framework of this. This is what Trump did. Trump came along and he said, I'm going to give you something else. And he became the cult of personality to an extent, but we don't need, Trump is not the only person to do this, but he's the only one so far. And Trump has connected to a lot of people. But by the same token, he does something which just is a lightning rod. In every other world, you want somebody like that. Somebody who drives people crazy and somebody who is loved and hated with no middleman. That's deadly for politics, but great for everything else. Great for music, great for Barbara Streisand's kind of like that. Barbara Streisand, you have you seen her, by the way? She remember that cat woman? Her name is oh God. Remember she had the bad plastic surgery? Remember her? We used to see her in New York. I don't know if she's still alive. She had the worst plastic surgery. Here we go. Catwoman. Her name, Catwoman. Her name. Oh, the Bride of Wildenstein. Yes, Jocelyn Wildenstein. She's still with us. Yep, she's 83 years old. Yep, and she had the worst plastic surgery of anybody's ever seen. Well, what's her name has got those eyes, that look, that strange thing that people do, and she came along and she just absolutely freaked everybody out. And that's kind of like Trump. Trump's the Bride of Wildenstein. But Barbara Streisand, by the way, used to be this very, very left, and she drove people nuts. And in a way, that's kind of good. I want somebody that people react to viscerally, vehemently. I want somebody that makes people crazy. This is called Open Your Eyes. Says your rap versus country premise does not prove. There's more to prove the illusion of choice more than anything else, which are the people you are trying to encourage to vote. Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. And by the way, thank you. Open Your Eyes. Thank you for this. Let me give you another one. Open. Can I call you Open for short? Okay. Let me tell you what's going on here. We right now are at a rest stop. We have been driving for hours and we are absolutely, positively starving. Starving. And there's one restaurant over and it's a buffet. And we're coming in around 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. They haven't really changed. The buffet was nice around 11 o'clock when they put the stuff out, but it's past. The salad is wilted. Most is gone. A lot of melted ice. And there's a couple of buckets of things. And that's it. They got some 3-bean salad over here. Like, kind of boring. You got this stuff. I don't know what that is. Forget that. And then you got a roll over here. That's our choice. You want to eat? That's it. That's it. You don't want to eat? Don't worry about it. We have to eat. Okay. Now, of these two choices, what do you want? 3-bean salad or the hard roll? That's it. You can't do both. You got to have one or the other. They have a weird house rule here. What do you want? Well, I think I'll go with the salad. This will fill me up more. Carbs versus, That's the way you got to think. And Open, there is no choice. There is no choice because what I believe in does not exist. The people, and this is a very interesting point, the people that you would want to be president, by virtue of anybody who gets to be the president, means you are the most corrupt individual. That means you satisfied all these initial levels of corruption. you, by virtue of who you are, must be corrupt, because for you to even be here in the first place means you're corrupt, because you wouldn't be a choice if you were not corrupt in the first place. Does that make any sense to you? You got any? I could never run because, first of all, I have to sell my soul. I have to sell my soul. I start off idealistic, then I'm going to realize I'm not even going to be there. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to. What I have to say, nobody. First of all, the way I look and sound, and nobody would want me in the first place, because I cannot meet the cosmetic reaction. Don't forget, that's a big thing too. You got to look the way you are. You got to look a certain way. I don't look a certain way, and I don't sound a certain way. And I know intellectually I'm able to do it, but I scare people because of it. Oh, people get scared. They look at me and they don't like me. And I recognize this because I scare them. And I say things the way they are. And a lot of times I insult people because I want people to get the hell out of the way. There are people that I meet where I say, you have no business opining regarding this. Go over there, go to a garden, go to the African Violet Society, or talk about sports, because you're a moron. Get out of here. You don't understand it. Plus, I'm a realist, and there are no realists. Tell me the way things are. Tell me the way things are. There's some kind of there's some form of realism. Let me give you an example. If you are 50 years old and you have not had and you're a woman and you have not had a child, you're probably not going to get pregnant. Now, is that true? Probably. I mean, there may be some, but for the most part, probably. Now, is that bad news or is that realistic? That's just fact. You most probably have hit menopause, or you're menopausal. Nothing wrong with that. This is a reality. This is a reality. I didn't make this up. I'm not saying it should be that way, shouldn't be that way. Don't you think parents will be, don't you think when you're older, don't you think, like I think many of us in our 70s would be the best parents. Why do you think grandparents are so great? Because they've been through this. They'd be the best parents, but they can't. You can't have an 80-year-old woman having a baby. And that's reality. I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't that way, but that's the way it is. I'm a realist. And realism is hard. Remember the thing I told you about the AA pledge? God, give me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, know the difference, or whatever hell it is. God, give me the serenity to know the way things are. This is the way things are. By the way, never write probably instead of probably. Don't. Just don't. Not in my house. Don't do that. It sounds, it tells me that you're a moral degenerate, and it's wrong. Okay, now let's move right along. These are the things which are the most important. These are the most important and critical things for people to understand. I understand reality, and my reality gets me in trouble. If I talk to the black community, I would be booed off the stage. If I talk to the gay community, if I talk to the I don't know who I talk to. If I right now, whatever I say, I told you about this. Whatever I say regarding Israel and Hamas and whatever, people hate it. Hate it. They hate what I am saying because they think I'm saying something which I am not. Sparky says, Nat Turner's slave rebellion used drums for signaling, resulting in drums being banned for civilian use in much of the U.S. Could the lack of drums in early country music be a vestige of this ban? Sparky, that might be the most incredible and the most important and the most viable and the most brilliant question. Interesting. I would say no. Because they also banned other things too, because they were old mountain people and they believed that what was in the mountains, banjo, maybe, by the way, banjo is African, banjo, guitar, fiddle in a weird way is country, not bluegrass. Bluegrass was different. I don't think that was it, but that's very interesting that you say that. That's going to make me I'm going to be thinking about that one all day long. You hear me? Sparky says jazz brought drums back. Sparky, if ever you want to see one of the things, which, and by the way, thank you. One of the things which I love is when you have something plus something gives you this. I love to see the. Let me give you an idea of something that I believe in. And let me talk to you about, think about politics, which is most important. You have to believe in something that begins your fundamental, your universal sauce, so to speak. You know, bechamel, how they start off with that. You know, you start off with, flour and water or flour and whatever. Make a roux, and everybody starts off like that. And okay. But you got to ask yourself this question. What is the fundamental thing that you need? What is the rule of government? Think about this. The rule of government. What is your fundamental rule of government? This is where you and I begin our journey right off the bat. What is our fundamental? And before you think of that, before you come to a to a decision, before you recognize the answer to that question, understand something right now. That it's time to talk about another one of our great sponsors, and I want you to listen very carefully. Let me tell you about my great friends at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com. And by the way, use promo code Lionel. Use promo code Lionel and receive a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I realize that gifts are free. It's a tautology. Get over it. Sue me. So what are we talking about? How about Giza Dream bed sheets, My Pillow 2.0, sheets, slippers, percales, towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, name it. Items to luxuriate and relax. And don't forget, Christmas is just around the corner. And yes, it makes a great stocking stuffer, and it's fine for dad or grad. Made by the greatest company from the greatest people in the greatest country. Or call 800-645-4965 if you're OG, and see how quickly Mike Lindell answers the phone. 800-645-4965. But don't forget, only use promo code Lionel. That's mypillow.com. Promo code Lionel. Mypillow.com. Promo code Lionel. Dear friend, let me ask you this question. What is your first rule? What is your first rule of government? What is your first rule? And my first rule of government is very, very simple. Government does nothing. I'm running for office, and I'm going to say, I'm going to do nothing to you. The same way I'm going to be if I'm your doctor. I'm going to try to make you better, but I'm not going to cut. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to add anything. I'm not going to give you a drug. I'm not going to give you anything unless it helps you. I'm going to, first of all, my dream is to, when I see you, to say, you're fine. Be well. You're fine. That's it. That's it. You're fine. I'm going to make some suggestions. I'm not going to cut, snip. I'm going to give you no drugs, no nothing. I'm going to write you a script for nothing. That's my thing. My son's acting up. Okay. Aren't you going to give him a script? Nope. My back hurts. Can I get some pain? No. 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 First, do no harm. Now, what kind of, who, you want me to run for office? I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. It's my first rule of government. Government does nothing. Government is here. I'm this limited thing. I'm this limited thing. A government's like a gun. How many times have you fired your gun lately? Not that many. I hope not, because it's a gun. It kills people. Edie Crowley, ladies and gentlemen, says, if I put up a Trump sign, I'm pretty sure a landlord would make me take it down. And you know what? You're right about that. Now, Edie, does he have, and by the way, Edie, thank you, dear heart. Do you think he has a right to do that? Maybe. Do HOAs have the right? Maybe. There are people in New York City who put signs in front of their buildings, signs outside that have Israeli flags. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind? Why in the name of God would you have an Israeli flag outside your what? Why are you doing that? Well, I believe in Israel. I didn't say you didn't. Why would you dare put a sign up? Why in the name of God would you put a sign up that says Israel in this country? Why? Why? People are crazy. The rule of law is the sauce I like. What rule of law? Well, it's interesting. I like that. The rule of law. It's very, very good. But I'm going to be a realist. I'm going to tell you, Edie, and you, Raul. And by the way, Raul, thank you. But here's one rule of law and one rule of reality. If you put a Trump sign up in front of your house, you're going to be egged. You're going to be, you are basically saying, abuse me. If you are a store owner in New York City and you put if you put the Mogan David, the Star of David in front of your Israel, we support Israel. You are basically targeting. You're saying, come on, bring it on. Hit me, knock my windows out, destroy my skip. Is that right? Of course not. It's reality. It's reality. If you leave your windows open, you could very well be burgled. Is that right? No, of course not. It's reality. You trust people? People hate Israel. They hate Israel. But nobody hates Palestine. Nobody hates Hamas. Nobody hates, they don't talk about it. But for some reason, and you must also understand as a realist, people will coalesce in groups of folks for reasons I will never understand. And once you start once you start reporting something, once you start telling people this is the way people act, you'll see more of it. I've seen it before. I've seen it I've seen it in ways I can't begin to believe. So here's my question. Number one, we are the United States of America. We rule by the Constitution. Look at all my stickers in the back from all my votes. I keep all my stickers. I got a whole bunch of them here, and I throw them in here. And oh my God, I'm nothing but one. I'm just one. I'm one list after another. This is it. Constitution. The Constitution of the United States of America. That's it. That's it. And I believe in the Constitution. Is gay right? Are gay rights guaranteed by the Constitution? Nope. Is sodomy guaranteed by the Constitution? Nope. Is marriage guaranteed by the Constitution? Nope. Guaranteed? No. Denying it may involve the violation of a protected law, but no. Voting, not even mentioned. The number of justices aren't even mentioned in the Constitution. Nothing. So here's my question. And here's what I'm trying to tell you. What do you believe is the role of anything? There are some things we don't do. And we have a list. The Bill of Rights says we have the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Third Amendment, quartering soldiers, Fourth Amendment, search and seizure, Fifth Amendment, due process, blah, blah, blah. Sixth, right to counsel, and really eighth, and that's it. That's it. First 10 amendments, really. That's all. Those are all of the plus slavery. That's it. Number two, we don't get involved in things in other countries that don't involve us. That's the worst. We don't do this. Why are we doing this? Well, unless you can guarantee that we're going to never have any repercussion, but for the most part, it's none of our business. It's none of our business. We are not the policeman of the world. Forget Woodrow Wilson. We are not it. We are not it. Don't go out of your way and claim a particular cause of action or a particular cause or direction or approach of politics that's going to get you killed. That's going to get you that's going to have you lose an election. For the love of God, don't do this. For the love of God, don't do this. I can't express this any other way than to say, don't do this. Don't be in the position of putting yourself in places it doesn't believe, starting with Russia, starting with Ukraine, and don't let people like these weird neocons of Victoria Nulands and these NATO folks try to draw us in and use the full faith, credit, and firepower of the United States to advance a political ideology that has nothing to do with anything that even remotely affects us. Does this make sense to you? Does this make sense to you? Sparky says, many established musical instruments, notably drums, horns, and cymbals, were used for military signaling in the days before radios and gunpowder, leaving music for entertainment as a second application. That's fascinating. Also, bagpipes. What would they say? What was the expression? A gentleman is a person who knows how to play the bagpipes, but doesn't, Yes, bagpipes were signaling, horns, trumpets, drums. Drums were also signaling prior to, right, the idea of using music as a form of lyricism. You're right, Sparky. Absolutely. It evolved almost as a form of like the horn. Literally, the horn was to signal. You're absolutely 100% correct, without a doubt. And I love the stories of how things evolve and expand, and how they have become, and how they are. And by the way, I've tried immensely, incredibly, to appreciate hip hop and rap. I can't listen to a second of it. A second. I respect it. I cannot listen to a second of it. There is a form of dance music. I don't even know the name of it. I can't listen to it. I hate it. It's dissonant to me. It is not euphonous. Certain forms of classical music make me nervous. And certain political ideologies do the same thing. I want to understand something. I want you to understand this group of people that I don't get along with, and that is the political religious right. When I hear people say that this country is Christian and they quote Jesus, no, not in government. In your own life, knock yourself out. In government, absolutely not. This is not about Jesus. The idea of that picture of Trump in court sitting next to Jesus was blasphemous for Christians. That was the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is becoming cartoon. So I don't fit into these folks. I would not be good in trying to tell people, hey, listen, guess what? Good news, folks. Good news. I am, I don't know what the word is. I like you, but I don't want you to, I don't know what the word is. I don't want you, what am I trying to say? I don't want you to take your particular belief a little bit further than it exists now, and that is merely in churches. It does not belong anywhere in politics whatsoever. You understand this? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, the biggest problem I have is the people who want to actually terminate abortion, to make it illegal. The Dobbs case had nothing to do with making abortion illegal. It had nothing to do. It merely said there is no federal protection. You can do with it what you want on a local basis. That's it. Period. And that's it. So I don't fit into this. But let me tell you something right now. Unless Republicans do something, it's not going to work. Right? And if somebody says, I'll take a holy roller over a leftist, I don't know what a leftist is. Define how much of a holy roller versus how much of a leftist. What does a leftist mean? I'm a leftist in many respects. I'm anti-war, pro-civil rights. I am for women's rights, for gay rights, for a lot of things that would be called libertarian, but you might consider right. Oh, I'm absolutely leftist, depending upon what it is that you're doing. Holy roller. A holy roller. Anybody who takes the beginning of their, or the application of a doctrine based upon somebody else's word versus somebody who adopts and adapts to a particular ideology, that scares me, whether it's any kind of religion. Sparky says many communities got around the drum band by resurrecting their militias and using them as a band for parades. They sure, that's the Buddy Rich contingent. You know, and speaking of music and rhythm is one of the things which I believe many people can say that we have this inordinate kind of belief system in which we hear rhythm and we appreciate rhythm, because one of the first things we ever heard in our life was the sound of our mother's aorta that passed through us, provided we could. I don't think we had any real sensory, maybe to an extent, but to hear this constant flush of blood, this 4/4 timing, made us very, very attuned to the notion of rhythm. And rhythm is also cycles and the like. So that's a fascinating subject. So anyway, understand something that politics is a very simple thing. It's minimal activity. It follows the Constitution. It's out of people's business, and it does little to nothing. It is there because we the people give government certain limited powers to run things, pick up garbage, public schools, libraries, traffic lights, police, fire. It's about it. Schools, and then we'll have a little agency to maybe have education to watch it. But it would be, in my mind, I would destroy it. It would look like a ghost town when I got done with it. You understand what I'm saying? It would look like a ghost town. Somebody says sleeper cells are super religious. Religion is by its very nature. Religion is something like anything else. It's like a hypodermic. It's a wonderful thing. But what do you put in it? It's a wonderful device. Religion is a wonderful connector. You understand this? But here is the point, which is really, really critical. And I can't say this enough. I do not know how people are going to necessarily, I don't know how people are necessarily going to be able to understand this concept. Keep your religion on your own time. Keep it, whatever it is. It's never to be limited or held back or truncated or whatever. Do it. Not in government. I don't want to see "In God We Trust" on coins. I don't want to hear "So Help Me God" in courtrooms. I don't want to hear this. I don't care of the religious precedent. I don't care about that. I do not believe that we have any aspects of our government that has anything to do with a monotheistic or polytheistic or anything involving religion. Period. I don't want to hear that. You'll be better off. You will protect your religion much better if you realize that it's best kept out of the public. Politics. I still have Granddad's real horn. This is from Sparky, from a cow that he'd call his hunting dogs back with. It's D flat and loud AF. Well, look at the shofar. Curtis Lewa one time. Curtis had a wonderful way of speaking. Most interestingly, he would use phrases that were a bit odd, like malaprops. Like he would say, between a hard rock and a hard spot. Alzheimer's disease. Like the turtles coming back to Capistrano or whatever it is. But he did this wonderful thing. He talked about, well, during this Jewish holiday, this is the time when it's called blowing the shofar. And not shofar. He referred, by the way, to Hatzalah ambulance as the Hezbollah ambulance. I don't think so. Anyway, blowing the shofar. But horns sounding, the idea of and you're so right about this. I never thought about this. Music it wasn't even music. It was a totalitarian, a utilitarian means of trumpeting and providing sound to signal something, not to provide a separate kind of a distinctive ceremonial enjoyment all its own. So there you have it. You have been wonderful. Thank you so much. Sparky, by the way, thank you for this incredible dissertation, disquisition on music, on the sonorous alerting of music. I like that. Raul Rodriguez, thank you. Edie Crowley, thank you so much, dear heart. You are tremendous. Open Your Eyes, 45, thank you as well. Hillbilly, 55, and Barry Taylor, thank you for your kindness, for your just thank you. That means a lot to me. So, dear friends, don't despair, but 2024 looks over for us because nothing's going to be done. And the same people who let yesterday fall apart are still in power and they don't care. But we're still going to be here and we're not giving up. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to move to a different country. I'm not giving up. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to keep fighting and I'm going to keep telling people this and I want to wake people up and I'm going to grab them by the lapels and say, do you see what you're doing? It's that simple. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much for everything you have attempted to do. Attempted, and I say this with all due respect, and I mean that sincerely. If you are interested, I just did a brand new, very vociferous reference to my private channel. And the private channel, by the way, allows a more candid form of language. I'm not one who is necessarily salty or profane, but I do speak in a way that I think is rather, dare I say, emotionally illustrative of the particular feelings that I have at the moment, okay? I'll let you think about that one. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Thank you so very much. Tonight, we will have Mrs. L joins us. Mrs. L will join us tonight. She'll be my special guest. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's going to be wonderful. So tune in tonight, 7 p.m. The lovely, the talented, the love of my life, Mrs. L joins us, and we're going to have some kind of fun this evening. So make sure you join us. Have a great and a glorious day, dear friends. And until then, remember these words: the monkey's dead, the show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.